Welcome back to McCaffrey Farms here in Eastern Plains of Colorado. I'm Al McCaffrey, and today I am in the 9770. We're gonna start getting it ready for wheat harvest because any day now we can probably start cutting. Dad is heading home from the last field of summer fallow. He got that done. Got all the filters here. I'm letting the combine run for a little bit to change the oil, and then we'll go from there. Once we get some of this stuff done, we'll put the header on. We got it drug out of the shed. We're gonna have to take the one real lift cylinder off and take it up to the guy we normally have work on our stuff so he can put the new seal kit in it, because we had to get some cylinder stops at Milo Harvest. Grain cart is still in its steel corner. We're waiting on a gear on the bottom that runs up in the vertical auger. It said it's taking a little while to get that part, but they said it's good enough to where if they don't get it, we can still run it, and they'll just have to put it on later. But where we had the auger out doing the flighting and bearings and stuff, they said they'd just like to try and change it then. But we get to a point where we need to cut wheat, we'll just go in and grab it. I apologize for like going from middle of May to into June almost. I found out I was having some really long videos, like trying to get through them. I'd be most of the way through and it'd still be like 45 minutes long. Didn't make sense. All of a sudden I did terrible with making the videos, so I couldn't even get them put together, and I knew what was happening when I was doing it, so I knew they wouldn't be very good, so I just had to kind of scrap it. But for right now, we gotta start getting this ready. Change oil, change filters, fuel filters, cab filters, and just a few things on this. And then maybe in a few days we'll be cutting some wheat. It'd be nice. Some of it's pretty golden. There's just a few green spots we're waiting on, but for now we're gonna change all the stuff on this, get it ready to go. Shouldn't need too much because we took it to the mechanic up at Yuma, brought it back a couple weeks ago. Didn't do a whole lot to it, but there's a decent amount that had done. New feeder house chain. There was a leak in the single point, and then that cable, got a new cable there. Changed a few belts, put a new part in the rotor. It was losing RPM some. And then that motor and all that, I think, is brand new. It helps with some of this, the moisture and the bushels per acre. Mostly should be ready to go other than just general maintenance, which we're gonna try and do today. And Dad should be home here relatively soon with the 8960 and sweep, and help me with this, get this ready. So first I need to get some old 5-gallon buckets that can drain the engine oil into. I'm not sure how much engine oil this holds, but I know we'll probably need a couple buckets because the 9600 took a couple, and this should be a bigger motor. So we have plenty of them because of the hydraulic oil. When you have enough leaks on tractors like we do, you get a lot of these, which isn't bad. But get a few of these. I might get one more, just make sure this one's good. Get a few of these, start draining that, and then the reverser on the feeder house for the header drive, I'll need one for that to drain that oil out. Put some oil in that, so in that way we can get the header put on, because Dad says that seems easier to do with the header off. So get some buckets and start draining some oil and gear lube. One thing get caught up on a little bit that's happening. That very far quarter to the east of our house it's got weed in it, and it has a sprinkler on it. However, we haven't used it for like 10 years. It doesn't actually have a well, this middle circle and the circle that we planted corn on to the west of the house actually were the only two wells, and this middle well, we were having work done on it and something got dropped down the well and we haven't been able to use it. Would like to do something to get it running again, so that way we could use it, because Dad said there's still like 70 foot of water there. So we're having to pump water clear from this west circle over there, which was a long ways to start with, and that well's not very good. It's like 350 at the best, and so we weren't getting any water over there. But a neighbor actually had a sprinkler blow over in a windstorm sometime like last fall or this winter, I don't know exactly when, but he called Dad asking if he wanted to sell it, and we hadn't been using it, had no plans to use it again, and so we called Quality up at Yuma, which is a sprinkler dealer, I don't know what you want to call it, but asked them what they thought it'd be, because that's where Grandpa originally bought it from, is through them, and so they knew a lot of history on it and gave us a value. We told the neighbor, he took it, so we went around and swathed a little bit of a path around the sprinkler and to the edge of the one field, and they're down there taking it apart right now. Looks like they haven't gotten anything hauled off yet, but that's one thing that is going on. We sold the sprinkler, and it will be nice to not have to farm around that one. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I need to open that up down there, because that is the drain for the motor oil, and I think I need to open this up. I think this is the engine oil filter, and Dad was saying if you let a little bit of air through there, it should help it drain out better so you can change it. So that is what I'm gonna do now. I have some down there, so we'll see if I have it in the right spot or if I make a mess. All right, got the oil flowing. Let's see if I'm making a mess. Oh, that's darn near perfect. I'm gonna switch that bucket before it gets too full. Wheat harvest is coming up pretty quick. That's why we're trying to get on the ball getting this combine ready. I think I mentioned it in my last video with drill and feed. A few weeks ago we had some very hot, very dry, very windy days, and that is not good for wheat when it's trying to mature. It stresses the plant out a lot. It would be different if we got rain in between, but we weren't. And along with being very hot and dry, it's very humid, especially the last few days. Weather apps and the weather station in the house says like 90 degrees, 20% humidity, but I'm calling BS. I've only been out here an hour. It feels way hotter than 90 degrees, and I'm not really doing that much, and I am very tired already. But one nice thing is we got 3/10 of rain last night here. Didn't get much down there, but we're not really forecasted any rain, but those clouds have really been building. A couple tents here and there would be great. I know later next week, into next week, we have some better chances. I didn't think we had much of a chance today, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of rain. It's not gonna help the wheat any. It's just gonna hold us back from cutting any sooner. The wheat's past the point, it won't be able to help it, but for the corn, milo, and my millet, that'd be great. Take some rain any day. Our oil, I'll let it drain out some more, see how much that bucket I can fill up. But since that's going a lot slower now, I will start working on this reverser. It is this deal right here. This is where you hook the header up. It helps run the header. There's a drain right there. I'll take that out, let it drain, and then I'll need to fill it up through here with the gear lube. So I'm gonna get some gloves on and start draining that. So I'll let that drain out. It's going pretty slow as well. I'll keep an eye on this oil over here. It's just a teeny tiny dribble. I'll let that go for a little while. Might put the oil filter in and then shut it off and put some new oil in. Then we'll start on some other filters. Alrighty, so we're gonna get this cylinder taken off. It is to lift the reel up and down. As you can see, it was leaking pretty bad. We're gonna take it off because Dad's heading up to you.
Realize that's a stop.
All right, this is the next filter that I'm going to change. It is the cab filter, and it's way down in there. There's this handle right here. Got to pull that out and put this new one in there. And then there's that one. It's another cab filter. You open this door. It's just right inside there. So I'll change those two. All right, looks like Dad is going to be putting some fuel in the semi. Got tires checked in that and the grain trailer. And so once he gets fuel put in that, we're gonna hook the grain trailer up, and then that should be good. And then the combine, I believe we have it in the header ready. Got the belts tensioned. Everything's greased, oil levels and everything looks good. Combine looks good. So I do believe here in a little bit we will take this pickup down, go get Justin's from where he was spraying. That way when he gets done and brings his semi back here, he'll have a pickup. Then we will take the combine and truck down. Probably just cut a little spot to get everything set in the field. We're gonna see if we cut a load today. Wouldn't have been able to take it in just because it's Sunday, but it's pretty cool and humid and windy, so it would not be very good cutting conditions. So I think we're just gonna wait till tomorrow to actually get going and go from there. But got one field that looks like it should be halfway decent. We'll cut that one. Looks like it's all ready, and then we're gonna probably do some of the stuff that got hailed out. It's pretty yellow. Just want to do this one field that was ready, that's good, get it done. Do that other stuff, then we'll probably head down south to cut some custom wheat, like 450 acres, and go from there, and then come back up. Because like this quarter out here, most parts pretty good, but there's some thin spots where we had some bindweed pretty bad. They're still pretty green. And there's just a few other fields that there's a few spots that are still pretty green, and there's enough that you can't really mix it in, so still need some time there. But for now, we're gonna get this hooked up, then we'll start the shuffle, try and get some neighbors fired up, get them going, and hopefully tomorrow wheat harvest will start. Be nice, but we will go from there. All right, getting ready to take the combine and truck it down. Already got the pickup down there and brought Justin's back for him so he can head home. All we gotta do now is we gotta check this, just make sure it's full of 80-90. Then we'll head down. So I think Dad's gonna get a wrench to do that if we have one big enough. I think we should. Those aren't too terribly big. Might have to let it down a little bit. It looks like it's tilted some, so I'll do that, and then there's some calibrations need to do for the header, and we should be good to go. Like I said, we're probably not actually going to do much cutting today. Sun has came out. I think it's warmed up a little bit. So I think if we were to do any cutting today, it would definitely be better than what it was. I need to get out because we left the light on real quick. So I'm going to shut that off real quick. Alrighty. Let's hit the road. This wheat's looking pretty good. There's still quite a bit of green out in it. Some thin spots like right in here, and then over there to the south, if you can see that green, there's some bindweed patches. But I don't know if you really can tell. They have the towers all separated, wheels off, ready to go. They just need to come move it all, so hopefully they can get that done here in a few days, next day or two, so that way we're not having to end up cutting around them or them being in our way. But yeah, as we get closer, we might be able to start seeing it now. But like I said, we haven't used it for like 10 years roughly, maybe not quite that much, just where we have to pump water to it from a far well. Wasn't doing very good, and well's not very good anyways, and so it'll be nice not having to farm around it. Instead of having to farm around a whole sprinkler, we'll just have to farm around the pivot pad, so that'll be nice. But let's go get the neighbors wound up, because no one is cutting any wheat yet. To my knowledge of what I've seen, if we make a cut today or tomorrow, we'll be the first ones. That doesn't happen often. Doesn't happen often here. I know I've seen a few neighbors getting their combines out and getting them ready, but first one with a header on going down the road that I've seen. So we got that one this year. This isn't the field we're heading to, but we'll be heading to it soon. It's kind of the same thing. Got some bindweed patches that still a little green yet, but it looks like it could be some decent wheat. Gonna be a little shriveled. It's definitely not gonna be 60-pound test weight wheat like you want it to be, but it shouldn't be as bad as the last few years. Hopefully, time will tell once we get an actual load into the co-op. But for the most part, we have some wheat that looks halfway decent. The stuff that got hailed out didn't look too terrible before it got hailed out, so that kind of sucks. But some of the better wheat I definitely think was missed, which is nice. So hopefully So it can be ready here soon, and we can get started some cutting. And hopefully it'll be some decent wheat. Be nice. Prices went down a couple dollars. I think it's still around the $10 range though. But be nice, get some good wheat over a decent amount of acres at a good price. Be nice. But we'll see. Thank you for tuning in to watch the first wheat harvest video. Unfortunately, it got cut a few minutes short while I was putting it together. I suddenly ran out of clips for the videos from that day that was supposed to be in this video. I don't know what happened to them. They weren't on the GoPro. So we'll start at the next video. I should have all those. I guess we'll see. But thank you for watching. Wheat harvest is now over. We're a little past middle of July now. Sorry for taking so long to get them out. Been staying decently busy, just now kind of getting caught up on them. Everything's looking good. Wheat didn't do too bad. Some was a little bit better than we expected, some was a little worse. Overall, it wasn't too bad for the year we've had. We've been catching a few more rains here lately. Everything's looking good, so I'm gonna try and start getting the videos out a little bit better timing. We'll see how that goes. But thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in. There's a couple more wheat harvest videos coming and a few other field work ones after that. Stay tuned. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to like the videos. And on top of that, if you really enjoy the channel, be sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. But otherwise, thank you for watching. See you next time.